Hi guys, it's OhSheReads and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my June book haul and I'm really excited to show you the 31 books I purchased. And I did a big purchase from Book Outlet. Y'all know how I do. It's what happens. It's what happens. So I just wanted to show you the box. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's open. Here we go. Here is the giant box. Excuse me while I place it down. Whew. Let's get started. Invoice. First up in the box is My Name is Mina and I Love the Night. Anything seems possible at night when the rest of the world has gone to sleep by David Almond. Now, I do not know anything about this book, but the cover has intrigued me for ages, and I've been staring at it at Book Outlet wondering, what the heck is this about? I've read the synopsis quite a few times, and from what I can gather, this is a prequel to Skellig. And right here at the bottom, blurred by Nick Hornby, who I believe wrote About a Boy, correct me if I'm wrong, but right here it says, Skellig, one of the best novels of the last decade. So this is a prequel to that, and Mina is a teenage girl, and this is her journal. And it's written in journal form. So you have, different fonts throughout the novel. Yeah, I don't know anything else about this, but as y'all know, once I read it, I will tell you all about it. Next up, I picked up a sequel to one of my favorite books I've read so far this year, and the book I picked up is PSB11 by Rita Williams Garcia, and this is the sequel to One Crazy Summer by her, which I read, I feel, last month. I finally completed it, and I read it, initially started reading it as the February pick for the Forever Young book club, and that is a children's lit book club that I'm doing with some booktube friends, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I adored that novel. So when I discovered that there was a sequel, I quickly went and snatched it up. And P.S. this is a scratch and dent copy, and it is in perfect condition. Okay? Ain't no scratches on this baby. So yeah, I lucked out on this one, and I cannot wait to read the sequel and get back into this world. I adore these characters, so I can't wait to see what they're up to. Next up is a novel by an author I am very curious about, and this is The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. And I have not read any novels by Patrick Ness. I know his Chaos Walking trilogy is quite popular, so I don't know if I will ever read those, but I definitely am intrigued by this one. This is an adult novel by him, and I believe it centers around a 40-something-year-old American living in London who runs a shop, and one day a Japanese woman walks into the shop, and a lot of crazy things start to happen from there. So, as you can see, I don't know too much about this one, but I've heard really good things about the writing, the prose, and the story, so I'm very excited to finally check out Patrick Ness's stuff. Plus, how stunning is this cover? It's so beautiful. Next up, I picked up a book that I read and adored, but I got my copy from the library. So when I saw that this book was on Book Outlet, I snatched it. And this is Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. Now, y'all know, if you've watched my What I've Read Lately episode 2 video, that I have completely fallen in love with this series. It has quickly become one of my favorite series of all time. And so y'all knew I was going to get book 1, especially in hardback. I will be collecting all of the books in hard copy, especially because the library, gotta return them. Can't keep those books forever. Yes. Next up is a book that was mainly a cover buy, and then when I did a little tiny bit of research into it, I saw that it had some good reviews, and so I added it to my cart. And this is Full Service by Will Weaver. And this is a novel that takes place in the summer of 1965. Yes, it's the summer of 1965, and everything's changing, even in Hawk Bend, Minnesota. Population 1,750. 16-year-old farm boy Paul Sutton is taking his first job in town pumping gas You need to meet the public, his mother tells him. And so he does, but not in a way either of them could have expected. Over the course of the summer, Paul will come face to face with adulterers, hippies, a possible murderer, and the constant temptations of fast cars and faster women. Full Service is the story of the end of one boy's innocence, unfolding at a time when the country as a whole is undergoing a difficult, deeply disturbing coming of age. Now, I know in that summer there were a lot of racial tensions, so I wonder if that will be involved in this novel. I'm really excited to read this, and you have to admit this cover is freaking amazing. I'm gonna let you stare at it for a second. I'll let you know what I think. Next up in the box of goodies is dun, 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 Unholy, and this is book 2. Is it book 2? Yes. Oh my god, I'm crazy. This is book 2 in the Unwind dystology, and as y'all know, I read Unwind in January, and I think it was the first 5-star book of the year for me. I fell in love with that book. I thought it was amazing. It's the best dystopian I've read in a long time. And this is book 2, so I definitely want to continue with this series. There are 4 books in total, and in my last haul, book outlet haul, I collected the other books in the series. So now I have book 2, and now my series is complete. So excited to read this. Neal Shusterman is my jam. I feel like I just want to read everything he's written now. His brain is fascinating. Next up, I have a book that absolutely captivated and intrigued me by this title. This is The It List, or The F-It List by Julie Halpern. And in person, this cover is everything. I don't know if you can tell, but right where the F word is scribbled out, there is texture right here. Can you hear that? Like it's like the hard copy coming through the dust jacket. Yo. But when I saw this title, I was like, I need this in my life. I don't know what this is about, but I need it in my life. And right up here it says, sometimes it takes a bucket list to start living again. It was her best friend's bucket list. Now it's hers. Becca has cancer. She doesn't know what the outcome of her treatment will be. Alex is Becca's best friend and wants to help. And if the only way she can is by completing Becca's bucket list, then so be it. Tearjerker alert! Tearjerker alert! Oh my god. I need it. Next up is the sequel to a book I picked up from my last book outlet order, and this is book 2 in the Poison Princess series, or I guess technically it's called the Arcana Chronicles, and this is Endless Night. I have not read Poison Princess yet, but I will at some point. But I definitely love Kresley Cole. I actually have a long and just satisfying history with Kresley Cole. She actually writes adult romance novels as well, and mostly paranormal romance. And I fell in love with her paranormal romance series way back when I was, oh gosh, in college in like 2005, 6, 7, so forth. And I devoured those books. So when I saw that she was writing a young adult series, I had to get on it. Get on it, get on it, get on it. But yes, I'm excited. Kresley Cole, all over it. Oh, hi there. Okay. Then I picked up an adult novel, and this is Lila by Marilynne Robinson. And I don't know what this is about, y'all, but I was intrigued by this cover, by the blurbs I read, by how much praise this book has received. I didn't do a lot of research into this. Right here at the top, it says, apparently Marilynne Robinson wrote a Pulitzer Prize winning novel called Gilead. So, I mean, she can write her little butt off. Lila, homeless and alone after years of roaming the countryside, steps inside a small town Iowa church, the only available shelter from the rain, and ignites a romance and a debate that will reshape her life. She becomes the wife of a minister and widower, John Ames, and becomes a new existence while trying to make sense of the days that preceded her newfound security. Ooh, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my god, this sounds beautiful. I can't wait. I picked up a book I've heard of a little bit about here on the booktubes. I've been eyeing it for a while, and then Peruse Project hauled it, and I was like, damn it, Reagan, why? Charm and Strange by Stephanie Kewen? I'm sorry, Stephanie. But this is supposed to be kind of a quirky, twisty, unique type of story, not your typical story I've heard. And I believe the main protagonist is a boy. It says, when you've been caged in the dark, it's impossible to see the forest for the trees. It's impossible to see anything, really. Not without bars. Interesting. But I've heard it's really good, and it's short. So we shall see. We shall see. Next up is another cover by and title by. And this is Venom by Fiona Paul. And I don't know. It has some mystery into it. I think they're trying to solve some type of crime or something. Secrets can be as powerful and deadly as poison. A murdered woman with a bloody X carved across her heart. A handsome artist with a mischievous smile and a knack for getting into trouble. A deranged killer on the loose. One girl about to discover a more sinister side of Venice, where temptation, deception, and corruption can lead to something far worse than murder. Beauty, romance, and mystery woven together in a novel that's as seductive and stunning as Renaissance Venice itself. A sensual tale in which no one can be trusted and passions kill. And that's blurred by Andrea Kramer, best-selling author of the Nightshade trilogy. Yes, boo. Yes. Next up is another adult novel, and this is So Be It, a novel by Sarah Weeks. Although she lives an unconventional lifestyle with her mentally disabled mother and their doting neighbor Bernadette, Heidi has a lucky streak that has a way of pointing her in the right direction. When a mysterious word in her mother's vocabulary begins to haunt her, Heidi's thirst for the truth leads her on a cross-country journey in search of the secrets of her past. A dramatic tour de force by the best-selling author of Regular Guy. So yeah, this sounds really, really interesting. Tell me this doesn't sound interesting, right? Right. I finally tracked down a hardcover copy of Entwined by Heather Dixon. Now, some of y'all may know that in one of my past book outlet hauls, I purchased a paperback copy of it, but I wasn't okay with it, y'all. I've always wanted to own this book in hardcover, and they do not print it in hardcover anymore. So when this showed up on book outlet, it was like all my dreams had come true. So I just had to grab it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the paperback one, but you know. Next up is a book I know absolutely nothing about, but the cover intrigued me. Story of My Life. And this is The House of Bilquis? Yo. By Azar Abidi. Yo. I'm gonna just let you look at it because my pronunciation is failing me at this moment. But this is an adult novel. I see the little penguin. Hi, penguin. A fascinating story of cultural and generational struggle, and at its exotic heart, the widow Bilquis, a most unforgettable character. Azar Abidi is a captivating story. I didn't want this book to end. So, Bilquis Ara Begum, an aristocratic widow, is dismayed when her only son, Samad, marries Kate, an Australian girl who settles in Melbourne rather than returning home to Pakistan. Samad asks his mother to join them, but she insists on remaining in Karachi, presiding over the family's crumbling estate, even while civil unrest and creeping Islamization are making the country more dangerous. Ooh. Meanwhile, Bilquis' servant girl, Mumtaz, becomes involved with Omar, an angry young radical resentful of Pakistan's class system. Stuff's gonna go down. Stuff's gonna go down. Oh my god. Next up, I picked up a childhood favorite, and this is Belle Prater's Boy by Ruth White. And I loved this book as a kid. I just remember falling in love with the story about a young boy who one day wakes up and his mother has disappeared. And it's kind of him dealing with that loss and being abandoned by his mother. And I love this so much. I fell in love with it, and I'm so glad I have a copy for myself now. And as you can tell from this shiny Newbery Honor Book medal right here, it is a winner. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally own a copy of this, and I'm definitely looking forward to rereading this soon. Next up, I have a Marian Keyes novel, and this one is Lucy Sullivan is Getting Married. And this novel I read way back when I was in middle school, either late middle school or early high school, and I remember really enjoying it. It's definitely a chunker of a book. And basically this is about Lucy Sullivan, and when Lucy Sullivan is dragged by her friends to visit a psychic, she thinks it will be a bit of a laugh. She doesn't believe for 1 second that the prediction will come true. There's just no way that she will be married within the year. In fact, Lucy doesn't even have a boyfriend. But then she meets gorgeous but unreliable Gus and the handsome Chuck. Oh, and then there's Daniel, the world's biggest flirt, and even cute Jed, the new guy at work. Is it written in the stars, or will Lucy finally take control of her own destiny and find the perfect man? And y'all know I love Marian Keyes. If you've seen my What I've Read Lately episode 2 video, you know how much I adore this author and how brilliant she is at writing contemporary women's fiction. So I'm really excited to revisit this one and see if I love it as much as I did the first time I read it so long ago now. I have a copy of Unwind in my hands, and I talked about it when I talked to you about book 2 in the series. This is book 1 in the Dystology by Neil Shusterman. I've already read it, but you know I didn't own a copy because I got it from my library. So I finally have a copy, and as I said before, now my collection is complete. Next up, I have 2 books by A. Meredith Walters, and I haven't heard too much about these, although I know they're quite popular. And book 1, I believe this is book 1, is Find You in the Dark, and book 2 is Light in the Shadows. And these are both new adult books, and I think it's, you know, the typical new adult. Somebody's broken and damaged, and then they meet a boy and they fall in love, and there's drama. I don't even have to read the back, like, y'all know that's what happens. But yeah, Goodreads pages will be below for people who want more information than that. But these have pretty decent ratings, so I'm excited to get to these. And I'm kind of building my new adult hard copy collection. I have so many new adult books on my Kindle, so I'm kind of trying to invest more in hard copies and paperbacks so that I can support these new adult authors, many of whom are self-published. Next up, I have a book that I'm even more excited to read after watching Sierra's review on it in her wrap-up. That is S.R. Sarillo, and that's her channel name. And this book is Unteachable by Leah Reader. And, you know, I don't know too much about the plot or, you know, the background or anything about this book, but I was really intrigued by the cover. It has a lot of really great reviews, and I've heard that Leah Reader is kind of a unique author in new adult, so I definitely wanted to check her out. I believe this may be like a student-teacher relationship type situation. Right down here it says, complicated dynamics, forbidden sexual tension, and untamed passion. One of my favorite reads. And Sierra raved about it, and I really do trust her opinion, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Here I have another A. Meredith Walters book, and this is Lead Me Not. Right down here it says, love can be the most dangerous addiction of all. And this is another new adult. I don't really know what's going on here. Let's see. Broken girl falls for a member of... Is it a band? No, falls for a member of a group in like an addiction support group. Ooh. Looks interesting. We'll see. Next up, I have a book that I was really encouraged to pick up by what I heard about it on the Book Hoarders channel. I think that's her channel name. I'll put the right channel here if I got that wrong. And this is Red Shirts by John Scalzi. And she just freaking raved about this book, and she loved it so much. So I've been hearing a little bit about John Scalzi here on BookTube, especially people who read, like, you know, more sci-fi and that kind of stuff. So I've never read anything by him, so I'm really excited to start with this, and I don't know anything about this. This is an adult novel, and I don't know. We'll see. Next up, I have a book that I read around the holiday season last year and completely fell in love with, and this is what made me fall in love with Morgan Matson, and this is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. And I adored this book. I even have a full review up on it on my channel. If you haven't seen it, I will link it right now. And I just didn't have my own copy because you know the story. I got it from the library. But now I have a copy, and I am slowly collecting everything by Morgan Matson so that I can read them all in order of publication. But this book was amazing. This is a young adult contemporary romance, but it's so much deeper than that. It's dealing with loss and grief, and there's a road trip in here, and it's just such a beautiful story. I highly recommend this if you haven't read it or if you've never thought of picking it up. Even if you don't like young adult or contemporary, I think you would enjoy this. I think anybody would enjoy this. This is fabulous. Read it. Next up is a book by Jennifer Eccles, and she's a fairly popular young adult author. I just never read anything by her before. And this one is called Such a Rush. And right here, it's blurred by 17 magazine. Loaded with drama, an emotional story that you are sure to enjoy. Okay. A sexy and poignant romantic tale of a young daredevil pilot caught between two brothers. And I know I'm not like most people. I freaking love me a love triangle, okay? I love them. There. I've admitted it to you. Please don't judge me. Please don't think of me differently. But yes, I'm one of those people that enjoy a good love triangle. So I cannot wait to get to this. Next, I picked up a historical, and this is Shadow on the Crown by Patricia Bracewell. This is an adult novel. I was really intrigued by the cover as well as the subject matter, and I love all books having to do with history, and especially history surrounding royalty and kingdoms, and I just love that kind of stuff. In 1002, 15-year-old Emma of Normandy crosses the narrow sea to wed the much older King Ethelred of England, whom she meets for the first time at the cathedral door. Thrust into an unfamiliar and treacherous court with a husband who mistrusts her, stepsons who resent her, and a bewitching rival who covets both her husband and her crown, Emma must defend herself against her enemies and secure her status as queen by bearing a son. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So this is medieval times, and I am all over this. Like this is yes. Then I was in a really royal kick after picking up Shadow on the Crown, and so I got 2 more royal reads, and this is a series. Let's see, which one's best? I don't know. Okay, I think this one's first. This is Once Upon a Prince by Rachel Hawke, and this is part of the Royal Wedding series. I believe there are more books than just these 2. And it says, this is a classic romance at its very best, and it's blurbed by Debbie Macomber, who is like a fairly popular contemporary romance author. And this is the second book I picked up in the series, Princess Ever After. And I love these covers. They're so pretty. Look at them. Okay, I need to calm down. But this first one says, a royal prince, an ordinary girl, an extraordinary royal wedding. Now, if y'all grew up around the time I grew up in, do you remember that movie, The Prince and Me with Julia Stiles? Okay, then you understand why I picked this up, because I adored that movie when I was a teenager. Not to mention, I adored Julia Stiles. What happened to her career? What happened to you, girl? But yeah, so basically it sounds like this book is The Prince and Me, but in a book. That's what it sounds like to me from the blurb. And then book 2, which is Princess Ever After. Here on the back it says, well actually, I'm not going to read the back. Is it about the same person? No, it says, Regina Beswick didn't know she was born to be a princess. She's content to be a small-town girl running a classic auto restoration shop, unaware that a secret destiny awaits her, one that will leap from the pages of her grandmother's hand-painted book of fairy tales. So just a little sneak peek there. But yeah, these books just look so cute. And I just, they look like really fun reads. Last but not least is City of Promise, and this is by Beverly Swirling. And I finally figured out that this is actually a part of a series, but I don't think you have to read the books in order necessarily, but we'll see. And this is a novel of New York's Gilded Age. So I believe the books preceding it are City of Dreams and City of Glory, and they're all about different time periods. I want to say in New York, I'm not 100% sure. But let's see. Beverly Swirling's critically acclaimed epic saga continues as New York emerges from the Civil War into the Gilded Age, a city marked by soaring expansion and teeming with unbridled ambition and dazzling glamour. It's 1864, the South's surrender is inevitable, and Manhattan is at the heart of the recovering nation's surge to prosperity. Blah, 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 blah. It's about Josh Turner. He returns home from the war with only one leg, but his ambition intact. He sees opportunity for growth. He's ambitious, blah, 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 blah. So he's on his grind. Okay. And let's see. I think he meets this girl. And there's some drama. He has kind of a shady past. So yeah, we'll see how I like this one. It has really great reviews, as do the other books in the series. So maybe I'll pick up the other ones before I get to this one. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm really excited to finally get to this when I do. It sounds really interesting. Yay! Oh my god, they keep fueling my addiction. Why, guys? Why? And that is it. Those are all the books that I bought, all 31 of them. I think 31. Ain't no way I can hold them all up, but I will try and hold up most of them. So here is pile number 1. Right here. Can you see the mall and the glory? And here I have... almost have. Pile number 2. Hope you guys can see all of them. And that is it for this video. I will catch you guys in my next video. And nope, ain't got nothing else. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.